Hey, what's up, guys? Uh, I'm here with another Zynga Poker video, so let's get into it. So as you can see, the design is a little bit different from last time. It's been about 2 weeks since I've played, so it looks nice, actually. I like it. So we're going to go to Sit and Go. It looks like they got a sponsor for it, too. So we're going to do 100 million at 9 people. Actually, let's just do 50 million. So it looks like the table design is a lot different, and I kind of like it. It's a little bit more sleek. I like it. It's like a little bit more futuristic. It looks like we got a lot of bots at this table. So yeah, we have 5 bots. Oh no, 6 bots. So that's quite a bit. Maybe that guy's not a bot. Maybe he just has a weird avatar. So I didn't post last week because I was actually just outside Chicago. I met with my dad. We kind of hung out for a couple days for the Labor Day weekend. And then this yeah, I'm sorry. It said like something was wrong with my iPad or something like that, but it looks like it's still recording, so that's good. But yeah, so I was outside Chicago, and I hung out with my dad. We actually went to the casino, which is kind of ironic. I didn't play any Hold'em or any blackjack, just kind of like 5-card poker, like on the slots type thing. I did want to play at the table, but the blackjack was like $10 a hand. And I try to find tables that are like $5 a hand, but that's pretty rare these days. I really like to play tables that are $1 a hand, but those are really rare. And if it is the case, you probably have to pay 25 cents per hand. So I preferably just don't do that. But yeah, that was good. I guess this week, I've went to run club just like I normally do. I went to work, obviously. There was a couple new people that started, and they seem pretty cool, so we'll see what happens with them. I actually might have to work tomorrow, so there's like a lot of flooding going on, and like part of my job is like kind of, seeing what happens during floods and stuff. So yeah, I might have to work on a Sunday, but we'll see. Wouldn't be the first time I've done it. I did it one other time. It sucks because the Vikings' first game is tomorrow, and I won't be able to watch it, most likely. I mean, I might be able to catch some snippets. Like, I could stream it on my phone, and then I could listen to it on the radio. It really depends. Like, I kind of want to go early tomorrow, and then hopefully, like, get all the stuff I need to get done, and then come back home and watch it, but I kind of doubt that'll happen. I have to travel, like, almost an hour and a half away to a couple sites I need to visit. And so that's going to take a long time. And, I don't know. Like, the guy I work with, he's supposedly, like, I'm sure he's a good guy. He seems pretty cool, but, like, people have said, he's kind of he takes his time when he's working, so I don't know. I feel like I'm just going to be super impatient tomorrow, which I don't want to. Like, I do want to like do this. I said I was available to do it, although I didn't think about the Vikings game thing. It's not like a huge deal. Like it's not like I have to see every single game they play, but it's like I don't know. The first game, I don't think I've ever missed the first game of the season since I've started watching them. It's probably I'm trying to think. Like this is probably like the maybe 11th full season I've watched them. So I started back in the middle of 2007. So I didn't see the start of that year, but ever since, like I've pretty much seen the start of every single year. And I think they're going to be pretty good this year. I mean, I want them to win the Super Bowl. I mean, I feel like they have that expectation. They need to be able to execute, and they need to have some breaks go their way. But yeah, I mean, I hope I at least catch the end of it. I feel like I should be able to catch the very end of it as long as like I don't get overwhelmed. Like as long as my supervisor doesn't overwhelm me with what certain tasks. So it's hard to say what'll happen, but hopefully I can at least watch some of it. At least watch the end of it. It'll probably be pretty close, so we'll see. So I just noticed with this new setup, it looks like they actually have a timer instead of like, a certain amount of hands that go by. So, so as this timer goes down, then, it switches to the next blind, next big blind, next small blind. And so this is kind of interesting. This kind of reminds me of like the playoff the playoff setup. I did a few videos with the playoffs late last year, and they kind of just got rid of it, and I don't know why. Like I really liked making those videos, and people actually really liked those. I got like 100 views, like maybe on each one. So people actually liked that content. And I was sad they got rid of it, so. But maybe they'll bring it back, I'm not sure. I think it was kind of a late year thing. But yeah. So yeah, I really haven't had anything good. I've pretty much folded everything. I don't know why. I think I've just had bad hands, so I'm kind of waiting it out right now. But let's see, I'm still recording. So I was thinking that this week might be a long week. I might have to work 6 days in a row. I most likely will have to work 6 days in a row. It's pretty much there's like a 90% chance I'm gonna have to work tomorrow, which is fine. Like I like my job, but I kind of don't like that I have to miss the first Vikings game. Like it's not like in the middle of the season where it's like maybe I could miss this. It's like it's the first one, so it's like It's like their first home openers they've had since like 2012 too. So that's their home opener. That's week 1 actually. Also, gonna miss like watching the other games. Like seeing how my fantasy team does. I'm actually in 2 fantasy leagues. One of them, I'm betting money, and the other one, I'm potentially betting money in that one too, with just less people, maybe like half the league. So in that instance, like there's a lot more pressure on me this year for fantasy football. The previous like 4 years I've done it, there hasn't been any money involved, but this time it's like, okay, like now there's actually money involved, and like everybody's gonna be like really serious about it. So hopefully I do well this year. I mean, Julio Jones did pretty well. I had him for my first game. So far, so good, but we'll see how my team does. I'll probably update you guys throughout the season. Maybe I might start making videos like strictly about football because I really like the Vikings. I really like fantasy football. I really like the NFL in general. So maybe I will. We'll see. But yeah, let's see. I also watched this movie called Searching. So I actually watched that today. And it's actually a really good movie. The whole movie is like shot from a computer screen. So it's basically from the perspective of a computer screen. It's multiple computer screens, obviously. It's actually, there's some like camera shots. Um, actually, I think the whole thing is like technically a or technically a computer screen. It's just that some of the camera shots are, that like there'll be hidden cameras, but like you'll see it on a computer screen basically. And so it was a really good movie. It was kind of a heart wrenching movie a little bit. It's kind of not expected. It's kind of about this dad and her daughter, and I don't want to spoil too much, but basically the daughter gets something happens to her, and the dad has to like try to find her. And what really got me about that movie was that, his dad was trying to find any contacts necessary to help find her. And, as a dad, you don't know everything about your kid. So this girl's like in high school. And like, as a parent, you don't really know like your friends' contacts. You know what I mean? Like your kids' friends' contacts. You know what I mean? Like their friends is, like their kids' friends, basically. Like, I don't think my dad knows my friends. My mom wouldn't know my friends. Like, they wouldn't know who to contact if they had to contact a friend of mine. Like, because they don't know my friends, basically. Like, they might know maybe, like, one or something, but that's pretty much it. And that one friend probably doesn't know where I'm at 24/7. In fact, I don't know, it was so like it almost hit really close to home, because like I kind of understand that you don't really. I mean, I feel like this is the case for like most kids. Like, you're not just gonna give your parents like your friend's phone number. You know what I mean? And you're really not gonna tell them too much about like your friendships. You're just like, oh, I was with this friend, because it's like it doesn't really mean anything. If you tell them like, hey, I'm hanging out with friends, it doesn't really matter if you like tell them their name or whatever, because they don't really know, they're not going to talk to them. You know what I mean? So it's not like super crucial that they know what their name is. But I mean, maybe it is crucial that they know where they live, maybe. But even so, I mean, as a kid, you hang out with a lot of different people, and so it can be tough. To trace back to a certain person that might know where your whereabouts are. The daughter is like, this is kind of a little bit spoilery, so I guess I'm just going to say spoiler alert. But basically, the girl is, she doesn't have a ton of friends. So she's like super lonely. And so when the father like tries to like find like who her friends are, to help to try and find her, like he doesn't really know who to go to, and he has to kind of like scroll through her Facebook and her other social medias to try to contact people. And I thought that there's a really great scene in the movie where the father gets access to the girl's Facebook, after she's missing. And he basically goes through like 300 different friends. Obviously, they don't show all the friends, but he basically goes through them all, and he kind of makes a spreadsheet of like information about each one. And what was really heart wrenching about that scene was she like when he like talked to each different like friend or individual or whatever, it was crazy, because it was. Like none of her friends on Facebook like actually said they were like legitimately friends with her, and that kind of hit home. It's like that's definitely for me. Like on Facebook, I have like 250 friends. 90% of them I probably am not actually legitimately friends with, and the thing is, a lot of them, since I moved to Louisville, I don't really have a certain friend. Barring, maybe one or two on Facebook that like actually are here in this area. So it's crazy, I probably should friend request people, but I kind of have other apps, where I kind of like contact people. But the thing is, what kind of concerns me is that like my dad or mom couldn't like actually contact anyone because they wouldn't know who to contact, and that's kind of scary. Obviously, I'm an adult now, so it doesn't really matter as much. Like I should be able to take care of myself. It's kind of like the same situation. Like if I thought about my like contacting my father if he went missing or my mother went missing, I wouldn't know who to contact in that situation. So I mean, like once you hit adulthood, it's kind of expected that you don't go miss. That you can kind of save yourself if you go missing. But like even still, like as an adult, like you can still go missing, and that's the scary thing about it. It's like I don't know, like there's a lot of movies that like fearmonger out there, but it's like this movie, it kind of it hits home. I think it hits home for a lot of people because there's especially a lot of like high school kids or a lot of parents that don't know their kids' lives because you don't you can't know everything about your kid. You know what I mean? It's impossible, and you can only know so much. But this movie, it kind of plays on the fact that you could know a certain amount of people basically, and that's kind of crazy in my opinion. So it looks like I didn't. That was the only hand I played the whole game. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about a couple things, but yeah, yeah, Searching was a good movie, so I definitely suggest going to it if you can. Um, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. See ya.